Hey everyone, so we are here to talk about something that a lot of us in our 20s probably feel, that subtle hum of pressure. It is like everyone around us is shouting the same message. You gotta find your passion, you gotta build your empire, turn those hobbies into income. And honestly, a lot of the time, that just leaves us feeling totally overwhelmed, not really helped. It feels more like extra homework, right? The kind we definitely didn't sign up for. So in this video, I just want to chat about why that traditional idea of finding your purpose often backfires. And then we will explore a much kinder, much healthier way to actually figure out what you are truly meant to do. For us, finding your purpose early on, it really does feel like a pressure cooker. What I mean is it genuinely feels like there is this ticking timer to turn our lives on. And a lot of times, people tell you by 22, you are supposed to have your dream job, and by 25, you should have that passion all figured out, and by 30, well, by then, you had better have a full career, kids, a relationship, a side hustle, investments, and be rich. That is the story a lot of us grew up with. And you know what makes it even worse? Social media, you open up TikTok or Instagram, and it looks like every single 24-year-old is either a millionaire or a digital nomad, or they are the founder of some company, or they are running a passion-driven business from a rooftop in Dubai. And meanwhile, US, we are just over here, trying to figure out what we actually enjoy and just trying to put food on the table. And what most people do not quite realize is this kind of pressure. It is not motivating for a lot of us. For me especially, it does the exact opposite. So when you feel like you need to get it perfect on the very first try, well, at that point, you just get terrified to start anything at all. You end up doing absolutely nothing. Because the idea of choosing quote-unquote wrong, it just feels fatal. So instead of actually helping you find your purpose, that pressure actually just shuts you down. And there is this huge myth about a eureka moment, right? Most of us were taught that at some point we are going to feel this really dramatic moment. Like one day the sky is just going to open up, a beam of light is going to hit us, and we are suddenly going to just know our purpose. But let us be honest, real life, it just does not work like that. Purpose is not a lightning bolt. It is a very slow buildup over time. It is those tiny little breadcrumbs that you are going to follow throughout your life, without even truly realizing it. It is the things you are curious about. It is the people you admire. It is the work that energizes you instead of completely draining you. And here's the mistake. Most people, they treat purpose like one single, fixed destination that they absolutely need to find at 22 years old. But your purpose, it is going to evolve. It changes with new seasons of your life, and it grows as you grow. So if you cling too tightly to just one idea of what your purpose should be, you end up just boxing yourself in. And the worst part, a lot of people, they try to think their way into purpose. They journal, they overanalyze, they take all these personality tests. But the truth is, purpose, it comes from experience, not from analysis. You do not figure it out by just thinking. You figure it out by living. And then there is this other trap, external validation. Another thing that really messes a lot of people up is basing their purpose on what other people value. A lot of us, we chase careers that sound good to other people, but they do not feel good to ourselves. We pursue titles, not our true interests. We want jobs that will impress our parents, our classmates, our Instagram followers, and because of that, we end up in these purpose-driven careers that are really just rebranded rat races. They might look meaningful on the outside, but they just drain you on the inside. And when you chase that external validation, well, at that point, you are not actually searching for your purpose. You are searching for applause from other people. And the dangerous part of that is external success can trick you into thinking you are fulfilled until one day you wake up and you realize you have built a life that looks great. But honestly, it feels very empty, so purpose. It has to be internal before it can ever truly be external. So let us get into some steps here that will actually go through ways to try and find your purpose. Now these are 7 steps that I really think can help a lot of people. And the first step is to follow your curiosity and not a plan you have rigidly put in place. A lot of people, they feel stuck because they think they need this massive 10-year plan just to even get started. They think purpose only arrives after you have mapped out your entire life. But the reality is, most people who end up doing something truly meaningful, they did not start with clarity at all. They started with curiosity. And curiosity, once again, it is like those little breadcrumbs your life just drops for you. It shows up in the topics that you naturally find yourself researching, or the things you naturally find yourself, ranting about, or those weird hobbies that you wish you had more time for. Maybe the problems that frustrate you more than they probably should. Most people, they ignore those things because they feel too small or not serious enough in the moment. But that is the whole point. Purpose usually starts very small. So every big passion, it begins as a tiny little spark that you usually do not think much about. And when something continues to pull your attention over and over again, well, at that point, that is not random. That is your brain saying, hey, look here. And the funny thing is, the more you follow those small pulls, the more they compound into larger clarity. So curiosity, it very much is direction. You just have to trust it enough to follow it without needing the whole map at first. So the next step would be look at what you are naturally good at, but you do not value yet. The crazy thing about purpose is that it is often hiding inside the strengths you brush off because they just feel too easy. We have all done things that we are just naturally good at. Things we have done our whole lives without realizing they are actual skills. But because they come so naturally, we convince ourselves that they do not matter, or that everyone else is just as good. Maybe you are the friend that everyone comes to for advice. Maybe you are the one who is calm under pressure. Maybe you are the organized person. Maybe you are the one that is really good at explaining things clearly. Maybe you are the creative artistic one, but you downplay it. Or maybe you are the problem solver in your group, without even trying. Those things are not random. Those are little signals that build towards your purpose. And a lot of people struggle because they try to force their purpose into something that just does not align with who they actually are. But when you start to lean into the things you are already wired for, well, at that point, everything just becomes a little bit easier. Your strengths are not accidents. They are clues. And purpose usually sits right next to those strengths. Step number 3 is you need to put yourself in rooms that expand you. Purpose does not grow when everything around you stays the same. You cannot discover who you are meant to be if you are stuck cycling through the same routines, the same conversations, the same job, the same environment. You become a slightly improved version of your old self, but you will never truly become a new version of yourself. And real clarity comes from when you put yourself in new rooms, places that show you different versions of life that you had no idea even existed. A new job, a new hobby, a new city, a new group of friends, a new challenge that maybe you did not feel ready for. All of these things, they stretch who you are as a person. They make your world bigger, and when your world expands, well, you naturally expand with it. And most breakthroughs do not happen in an area of comfort. They happen when you step into a space where you are not the most skilled, or you are not the most knowledgeable, but you are curious. New environments show you possibilities where your old environments were never capable of showing you. Step number 4 is to study what drains you versus what gives you energy. And this one is huge because we are always told to chase what we love. But no one really talks about how powerful it is to track what completely drains you. Every path in life has hard moments, but not all hard moments feel the same. Some challenges leave you exhausted and completely checked out, and other ones strangely leave you fulfilled and wanting more. And a lot of people could find their purpose faster if they simply paid attention to their energy. When do you feel the most alive? When do you feel like time is just flying by? When do you feel proud afterward? And on the flip side, when do you feel like your soul is just being sucked out of your body? Those moments matter. Your energy is more honest than your logic. You might convince yourself something is the smart or safe path, but your energy is going to be the thing that truly tells you instantly. And when something lights you up, even when it is difficult, that is a sign you are moving in the right direction. When something constantly drains you, no matter how much money you are getting paid, or no matter how cool your title is, if it is constantly draining you, that is a sign you are moving away from it. For a lot of people, energy is going to be that compass. If you listen to it, you will know which direction to point yourself towards to find your purpose. And step number 5 is do more things that scare you. But in a good way, I think a lot of people forget this. But the things you are scared to try are usually the exact things that matter the most. And I am not talking about skydiving, or if you have a fear of water, or going scuba diving. I am talking about that fear that you feel is not always danger. Sometimes it is purpose trying to get your attention. The thing you keep thinking about doing, the business idea, the job application, the message you want to send, the skill you want to learn, the moves you want to make. You are not scared of it because it is wrong. You are scared of it because it is meaningful. And fear shows up when you are near something that could actually change your life. And most of us walk away from that feeling because we confuse fear with a stop sign, but it is really a signal. Purpose almost always hides behind the door. You are intimidated to open, and most people never unlock their true purpose because they avoid the thing that makes them nervous. But purpose requires stretching yourself. You do not grow in comfort, you grow in motion, in discomfort. And in moments where you feel like you are slightly out of your league, but still willing to show up. And step number 6 is you have to realize purpose evolves. But that is a good thing. One of the most freeing realizations is that your purpose is allowed to evolve. The thing that fulfills you at 22, to be honest, should not be the same thing that fulfills you at 27, or 30, or 35. You grow, you learn, you change, and that purpose changes with you. You hear a lot of people saying, well, the best advice is to never change. And realistically, that is not good advice at all. A lot of people get stuck because they are trying to force themselves into an identity that they have outgrown. They treat purpose like a lifelong commitment instead of something that shifts with every new chapter. But your purpose is a conversation with yourself and not a contract. Think about where you were 5 years ago. You are probably nothing like that person anymore. So why would your purpose stay the same? Let it change. Let it evolve as you evolve. And when you allow your purpose to grow with you instead of locking yourself into a box, and a lot less stressful. And step number 7, which is the last step here, is don't wait for clarity. And this one is big, right? This one is very important. Clarity does not magically appear before you take action. Clarity is something that you will create through action. You do not sit on your couch thinking your way into purpose. You will figure it out in motion. It comes from trying things, from experimenting, from messing up, from seeing what sticks and what does not. It comes from taking a small step and then another small step and letting the results teach you who you are. People who wait for confidence or wait for the perfect plan, well, those are the ones who stay stuck. But the people who might start messy and just, throw something at the wall till it sticks, even when they have no idea what they are doing, they are the ones who build confidence naturally. Purpose does not show up in your mind first. It shows up in your actions, your routines, and your efforts. So don't wait for the perfect plan or the perfect idea or the perfect moment. Just start. Start small, start unsure, start nervous, but start. Because everything you want becomes clearer after you take that first step of action and not before it. And you do not know your purpose yet. I am telling you that is good. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not lost. You are just exploring. The old traditional model of figure out your passion at 18 or 20 and stick to it forever is dead. The new model is very fluid, explore, experiment. Follow your curiosities, grow through small actions, and let your purpose evolve as you evolve. Purpose is not something that you discover in your head overnight. It is something that you are going to have to build through your daily choices, piece by piece, and it will start to become a lot clearer. So, you are definitely not late to finding your purpose, if anything. Now is the perfect day to start. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you.